Assalamualaikum and good day to everyone. My name is Zahwa. I'm from Master in Culture and Creative Industry, University Technology Mara. Today I will be presenting my research titled Exploring Creative Limitations and Their Effects on Malaysian comic industry, Socioeconomic and Structural Constraints. Malaysian comics emerged as a political cartoons and have been an important part of Malaysian popular culture. It reflects values, beliefs, and attitudes of Malaysian society. From primarily a political tool to a popular entertainment medium, comics entered a new phase of digital transformation, following the global transformation of digital comics. And this shift continues to offer opportunities for many Malaysian artists to reach an even bigger audiences globally and locally. This study examines creative limitations in the comic industry from socio-economic and structural perspective. It focuses on how comic creators navigate these challenges in their creative practice. In this research, creative limitations refer to constraints that affect creative process. In the context of creative industry, this may include restrictions such as censorship and funding constraints. However, for this paper, it's focused on specifically on the Malaysian comic industry to highlight the particular challenges that comic creators face. These comic creators include artists, writers, editors, and producers. This research argues that socio-economic and structural constraints play a significant role in shaping comic creators' working experience. Comics have long been an important part of Malaysian popular culture. It reflects social values of society while still remaining authentic to the author's voice. However, as comics become more and more commercialized and mainstream, creators increasingly face structural and socio-economic constraints such as reduced creative autonomy, challenges from digital shifts, and the undervaluation of comics, especially in the formal space. Despite this, these issues are often overlooked as most existing studies on comics focus mostly on textual analysis, meaning it focuses more on visual and the narrative of comics. This leaves the production side challenges that creators face largely unexplored. This study attempts to address the question: what are the what are the effects of creative limitations on local comic creators, and how do comic creators navigate these challenges in their practice? The objectives of the study are as follows: to analyze the creative limitations in the Malaysian comic industry, to investigate the effects of creative limitations on local comic creators, and to explore the initiative adopted by comic creators to navigate creative. For this study, I will use qualitative research that relies both on primary and secondary data. For primary data, I will conduct a semi-structured interview with participants that are consisting of comic artists, writers, editors, and producers. As the comic community is mixed in nature, and also my own involvement in the community, I will reach these participants using this global sampling. The first participant that I will connect to will help me reach more and more participants. These interviews allow me to understand their personal experiences, working conditions, and creative challenges more in depth. I will also conduct a participant observation where I will attend related comic conventions and fairs. This helps me directly observe and interact with industry practice. For secondary data, I will analyze published sources such as industry documents, policy texts, media coverage related to artists, or comic industry and selected comics. This helps me understand the bigger structural and institutional context around the industry. To analyze the data, I will use thematic analysis to identify common patterns and issues. And I will also use narrative analysis to look at how creators talk about their own experiences. Finally, Pierre Bourdieu's theory of culture production is used as the main framework to understand the interrelation of data. This framework, which is inspired by Pierre Bourdieu's theory of culture production, illustrates the dynamic and nonlinear interaction between field, habitats, and capital in shaping agents, or in this research are the creators, positions, and degrees of creative autonomy. Simply put, the field is the industry itself, habitats is a person's experience, upbringing, and beliefs, while capitals are their resources. None of this works alone. It works together to create uh, a dynamic interaction, a dynamic relationship, and within this relationship, agents are affected by all three at the same time. Uh, these three outings together shape creators' positions and creative possibilities within the industry. The significance of this study is that I've been this has been stated more previously a lot. Comics are culturally significant in Malaysia, but the local industry lacks academic exploration, which primarily focus on textual analysis, as I've said before, focusing on visual and narrative of comics. Commercialization and digital changes impose constraints on creators' autonomy and working conditions. This Yet research on how creators navigate these challenges is scarce. The study, using Pierre Bourdieu's theory of cultural production, examines the economic, structural, cultural, and institutional forces that shape the comic industry. It aims to understand the emergence of creative limitations and creators' autonomy negotiation. To conclude, this proposal explores how creative limitation impact comic creators, and it also explores how comic creators adapt to these limitations in their practice. Current studies highlight gaps in understanding the challenges they face regarding creativity, digital shifts, and comics formal reception. While findings are pending, I believe insights could benefit readers, policymakers, and scholars by showing them that comics are more than just nostalgic cultural medium, but also a creative level. Ultimately, this research aims to support a more sustainable comic industry in Malaysia and hoping for it to enhance contribution to the creative economy. Thank you for watching.